We also have talked, even on this channel, about Angel's very dramatic response to that. Literally lost for words, knowing what this woman meant to me in such a pivotal point in my life. She was the only person, this is interesting since she's been coached before.
It's almost unbelievable that despite being sued over steroid allegations, Angel Reese still has the nerve to stir up more controversy with her bold statements. And this time, the bombshell she dropped is about none other than her coach, Teresa Weatherspoon. If betrayal had a face, it would undoubtedly be Teresa's right now.
It seems like, according to some new reports, that relationship cost her job.
Chicago Sky officials are saying that Teresa's suspension was due to the team's poor performance. But wait, Angel's got some serious tea, claiming that's not the whole truth.
Point being, she disrespected the officials. That was the official response to this.
Why is she doing this? Are her allegations true? Or is this just another dramatic twist in the Angel Reese saga? Let's break it all down from the beginning, because things are getting messy. Since then, the internet has been ablaze, and it's all thanks to Angel Reese.
Here, Angel Reese wants to be Draymond Green, but there's nothing about her game that's really interesting that is going to translate to people who may not watch the WNBA, may not care about basketball.
Once hailed as the next big star in the WNBA, she's now at the heart of a scandal that's rocking the league. After months of rumors swirling, the shocking truth has finally surfaced. Ray has allegedly turned to performance-enhancing drugs in a desperate attempt to stay relevant. When you're struggling to keep up with the league's top talent, what do? In her case, it seems she turned to steroids to try and close that gap.
Angel Reese is the villain, Caitlyn Clark is the hero, and Angel Reese continued to play into it last night by getting ejected, and it's almost like it's all scripted. This is perfect for the WNBA. She's all the talk. She's the one standing up there in front of reporters saying, I need all you guys to realize there's two of us that changed the game of women's basketball. And it's not just Caitlyn Clark. I was a part of that 2 years ago in the national championship game, and it's going to continue to be that way from here on out. I kind of love it. I don't agree with her. It's way more Caitlyn Clark than it is Angel Reese.
Angel Reese was making headlines, and then suddenly a bombshell dropped. Reese had tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs. The WNBA world was in shock. Her team at the time, the Chicago Sky, acted swiftly, suspending her while they launched an investigation. But let's be honest, we all knew where this was going.
Because anybody who's watching could see that what was going on with Chicago and with Angel Reese and the double-double streak and all that stuff, was it good for Angel? Was it good for the rest of the team? Was it good for the whole organization?
The moment those test results came in, Reese's career plummeted, faster than her shooting percentage in the fourth quarter. Her public image was already on shaky ground, but this completely shattered it. The Sky cut her loose, and fans, the league, everyone was left in shock, scrambling to pick their jaws up off the floor.
WNBA has been around a couple of decades, and people didn't notice the game. They're noticing it now. Well, that's because of Caitlyn Clark, not Angel Reese.
Reese didn't just allegedly take some everyday vitamins. No, she reportedly went straight for EPO, erythropoietin, a powerful performance enhancer known for boosting stamina and endurance by increasing red blood cell count. It's the same stuff cyclists and marathon runners use to push their limits. But that's not all. She's also accused of using anabolic steroids, the kind that build muscle at an unnatural pace. Basically a fast track to making a bad decision. Both of these substances are strictly prohibited by the WNBA's regulations, and they don't take violations lightly. Athletes caught using banned substances often face serious consequences: suspensions, public scrutiny, and a cloud of doubt hanging over the rest of their career.
Real, the addiction to attention is real.
So, what pushed Reese to this point? Pressure. The pressure to stay relevant. Not just to play in the league, but to truly stand out in a league now, dominated by players like Caitlyn Clark. Clark, who practically rewrote the WNBA record books in her rookie season, was unstoppable. She ran the floor with ease, averaging 20 points per game, breaking assist records, and making everyone else look like they were moving in slow motion. Meanwhile, Reese...
Honestly, I think the biggest thing she should focus on is just finishing around the rim. That is something where maybe her rebounds will be halved. However, she will still make such an impact.
Reese's stats of 11.5 points and 9.2 rebounds per game weren't terrible. But when stacked against Clark's supernova-level performance, it was like racing a bicycle against a jet engine. Let's be honest, a lot of Reese's rebounds came from grabbing her own missed shots, which hardly screams dominance. But that's the tricky thing about pressure. It can push people to make desperate choices. The rumors of Reese's alleged steroid use paint a grim picture of an athlete struggling to keep up with Clark's brilliance. Instead of embracing the grind and pushing herself to new heights, Reese apparently opted for a shortcut, hoping performance enhancers would close the gap between her and the league's elite. Spoiler, they didn't. What they did do was get her caught, and she was ousted from the Chicago sky faster than you can say scandal.
Angel Reese said, hey, she'll play the villain role. Kennedy Carter certainly embraces that as well. Chad, right after we're discussing Angel Reese and the villain in the storyline and the plot that brings eyeballs to the product of Caitlyn Clark on tour across the WNBA. She's ejected for the first time in her WNBA career.
What makes the situation particularly heartbreaking is that Reese didn't need to go down this path. She had the talent from the start. When she entered the league, fans and analysts alike believed her rivalry with Caitlyn Clark would become the next legendary storyline in women's basketball. But instead, she's now at the center of one of the WNBA's most significant doping scandals. Fans and critics are left questioning everything. Was Reese ever playing clean? Was her entire career built on deception? It's the kind of fall from grace that leaves you speechless.
Would Angel Reese prematurely end her rookie season to spare herself the embarrassment of losing Rookie of the Year to Caitlyn Clark?
Chicago Sky acted swiftly, immediately suspending Reese as soon as the investigation began. When the positive test results were confirmed, the news spread like wildfire across the WNBA. The league, which has been putting in significant effort to grow its fan base and strengthen its brand, now faces a public relations disaster. One of its most high-profile players has become the face of scandal, and the league is left in damage control mode, trying to restore its image.
And Angel Reese is stirring this up. So while she doesn't, Angel Reese always comes off as the victim.
Let's not overlook the immense mental toll this must have taken on Reese. Reports suggest that the pressure, particularly the constant comparisons to Caitlyn Clark, was eating away at her. While Clark was out breaking records, signing endorsement deals, and leading her team to the playoffs, Reese found herself on a team that couldn't even come close to success. The frustration, relentless criticism, and media spotlight likely drove her to make some poor decisions. Sadly, Reese ended up choosing the worst possible path to try and get ahead.
If you're a big star, you should not need to beg for attention. If you're a big star, you should not have to exploit yourself.
Hold on before you start feeling sorry for Angel Reese. Pause those sympathy breaks. The fallout from her steroid scandal threw the Chicago Sky into total disarray, like a reality show no one ever signed up for. It wasn't just Reese's career that took a hit. The scandal practically blew up the entire locker room. Her teammates, furious, trust, completely shattered.
Angel Reese needs Caitlyn Clark. Caitlyn Clark does not need Angel Reese.
For someone meant to lead, turning to illegal substances didn't just break the rules. It shattered the trust that held the team together. The bond in the locker room was fractured, and with it, the team's spirit. The players could no longer rally behind their star. They were already facing a turbulent season, and this final blow sent everything crashing down.
She's pissed off because they're not just like, it's not just about one player. It's about me too. And it's like, wait, time out. Nobody, I haven't even seen it. This is the.
Oh, and let's not overlook the shocking plot twist involving Teresa Weatherspoon, head coach of the Chicago Sky. In a twist that feels ripped straight from a cheesy sports drama, rumors started swirling that Weatherspoon might have played a role in this entire steroid scandal.
Angel Reese and her coach, former coach I should say, Teresa Weatherspoon. We had all heard a few weeks ago that the Chicago Sky said goodbye to Teresa Weatherspoon, saying that it was time to, quote, make a change.
Yep, the very coach who should have been steering the ship may have actually nudged Reese toward disaster. Allegedly, in a desperate attempt to salvage the team's dismal 13-27 record, Weatherspoon suggested Reese consider a little boost. It was a tough season, and it seems Weatherspoon thought, why not? It's the kind of rumor that makes you question whether you've entered an alternate universe, where the coach is handing out bad advice instead of strategic game plans.
Angel Reese, Chicago Sky, had major culture issue under fired head coach. That, of course, is Teresa Weatherspoon. First-year coach criticized for tailoring game plan to benefit Reese. And again, many of us could see it coming.
Weatherspoon's time with the Sky was brief, barely a season, but she arrived with high hopes, determined to turn things around. Unfortunately, the opposite happened. The team's performance tanked, the pressure from management mounted, and frustration grew with each loss. It all seemed to take a toll on her. Insiders claim that Weatherspoon, fed up with the losing streak, allegedly urged Reese to resort to juicing, despite knowing the potential consequences.
And that it may have led to her demise, which was reported from Annie Costabile. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing that wrong. She's with the Chicago Sun-Times, and she recently reported that Weatherspoon was tailoring the Sky's game around one or two players, led to some serious dysfunction inside the locker room.
When the scandal broke, Chicago's front office acted swiftly. They cut ties with Weatherspoon faster than you could say scandal. Out the door she went, fired in the same breath as Reese. The message was unmistakable. The Sky wouldn't tolerate any part of this mess. But Weatherspoon's dismissal wasn't just about removing a coach who failed to deliver wins. It was about cleaning house, starting fresh, and distancing the team from anything or anyone linked to the controversy. Her once promising career, built on leadership and player development, is now overshadowed by this disaster.
That's going to cause some serious dysfunction because, let's be for real, every team wants to believe in the coach, etc. But teammates and your team has eyes. They can see what we can see. They may not get in front of the microphone and say it, but they saw what was going on with Angel Reese and how committed, for lack of a better word, Teresa Weatherspoon was to Angel Reese and this ridiculous foe.
Both Reese and Weatherspoon being let go at the same time wasn't just by chance. It sent a message. The Chicago Sky needed to get rid of all the negativity to have any hope of starting fresh. On the other hand, Caitlyn Clark's rise in the WNBA was truly remarkable.
For the 2023 season, the WNBA had grown by 40% viewership from 2022 to 2023. But with Caitlyn Clark's arrival, it's grown by 400% viewership.
We're talking next-level dominance here, the kind that makes you wonder if she's secretly fueled by rocket fuel. While Angel Reese's name is now mired in a steroid scandal, threatening to derail her career faster than you can say bad decision, Caitlyn Clark's rise to the top has been fueled by nothing but raw talent, relentless hard work, and unshakable mental toughness. While Clark was lighting up the court, Reese, well, she was struggling to keep up.
But everybody had an opinion on Angel Reese, and Angel Reese is stirring this up. So while she doesn't, Angel Reese always comes off as the victim.
With every record Clark shattered, Reese's game seemed to crumble a little more. Clark wasn't just dominating the stats. She was becoming the face of the league. Brands were lining up to work with her. And Nike? They casually handed her a $28 million contract, making headlines across the globe. The most impressive part? She didn't need drama, controversy, or a villainous persona to claim the spotlight. It was all earned through sheer talent.